taking time out of decisions and being more decisive and not adding time to decisions, making decisions faster, doesn't mean you're not educated on the decision. It doesn't mean that you haven't observed and looked at all the different aspects of the decision you're making. It just means you've become better at doing all of that. You've become better at analyzing the decisions and choices you're making. You've done your due diligence before even getting yourself in that scenario. And when you know something is a yes or a no, you make that decision. And a lot of times you want to have rules and policies for that, right? So as an example, because you're asking this question more about yourself and personal life, for me, one of the policies that I have is when it comes to most things, I say no. Most things, whether it's, social engagements, people going out and asking me to go out with them, to parties, to events, to business partnerships and deals. I get pitched on things all the time. My rule and policy is pretty much to say no to most things. So yeah, when it comes to making those decisions, right, especially with personal life, you want to have some rules and some policies. For me personally, I say no to most things. I learned this from my first mentor, Jim Rohn. He would always say, you always want to say no, because then if it's a yes and if circumstances change, it's a pleasant surprise. But if you're in the habit of saying yes to a lot of things, then what happens is you're going to disappoint more people because you decide against it. And then that's not the outcome that's favorable, right? So I have certain policies for certain things, for personal life, for business partnerships. I pretty much know before I even hear it out that it's going to be a no. If it's a scenario that changes my mind and drastically, then I'll know it's a yes. Right? There's a saying in making decisions as well. The saying goes, if it's not a like hell yes, absolutely definite yes, that means it's a no. If it's just it sounds like a good idea, or it sounds like something I would want to do, that means it's a no. If it's not an absolute yes, usually it's a no. So that's how I deal with that. I have personal policies when it comes to personal life, when it comes to business partnerships and deals. And then when it comes to buying something, it's because I've been in sales for so long. And now in business, I'm ingrained with this mindset. Like when I'm dealing with salespeople, when I'm buying a product or a service, I understand from both perspectives because I've been on the other side so many times, right? So for me, it's always important to build this habit and reestablish this habit. So if I'm looking at a product or service, if I want to go buy a pair of shoes, chances are I know what I'm looking for. Chances are I've already thought into what I'm looking for. And when I go there, I'm walking in to buy. If I show up, I'm here to make a decision. Right. And that attitude, that mindset, after it becomes a habit over a period of time, imagine that over a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that becomes a habit, that becomes a mindset, that becomes an attitude, and that becomes an expectation. So now when I jump on a sales call and I'm talking to a prospect or to somebody who wants my help or my services, that's an attitude that I have. That's a mindset that I have. That's something that's established for me. So it's very easy for me to tell you, listen, what is it that exactly is holding you back from making this decision? Let's address it. Let's handle it. If it's a no, totally fine with me. It's been great networking with you and building this connection with you. And I'm here to help you long-term as well. If it's a yes, let's get you started now. But I'm not interested in indecisiveness, right? And I can communicate that straightforward and candid, and people won't be offended. People won't be, like was just talking about the customers that might be challenging. Those type of customers will respect the fact that I just said that, because it's genuine. They can tell that I really mean this, and that's how I operate. So I expect the same in my prospects. And one thing in sales and businesses, your prospects and your customers are always a reflection of you. Whether you like to hear that or not, your customers and your prospects are always a reflection of you.